Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jensine, aka Jungle Naps. And you guys, I'm so freaking excited for this foundation review. I'm going to be reviewing the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. Now, if you haven't heard about this foundation before, it is a new NYX foundation. It's supposed to be matte. It's supposed to offer coverage that stays true to color for 24 hours. And they even partnered with Alyssa Ashley, who, if you don't know her, you need to check her out here on YouTube. And she helped them with the color range and kind of deciding different undertones and working on that in their lab. So that's pretty cool. There are 45 shades. You get an even gradient, which is just, it's just key. And yeah, so I haven't had a chance to try this on at all. I haven't swatched anything. I have about 6 shades in front of me, and I'm going to be swatching them for you guys. I'm going to be color matching myself, finding out which one works for me. And if you guys haven't watched a foundation review with me before, I always do a wear test. So I'm thinking about 6 to 8 hours of wear. It's kind of late right now, so you know, depending on how late I can stay up, we'll see. So yeah, so let me go ahead, bring these shades out, just show you which colors I have. So these are the first 3 colors I have. This is Sienna, Deep Sable, and right here we have Cappuccino. And here are the deeper shades I have. This is Mocha, Deep Rich, Cocoa. Now, because of my camera settings, they do look a bit light on camera, but they are darker. I'm going to be doing some separate product shots so you guys can see just kind of what they are more true to color. Also, just a little side note, because I didn't get this in before, this foundation is supposed to be great for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. So just in case you're wondering, you know, it's all good. Just in case you're wondering, I think that's freaking great. All right, so here are the swatches. And now the first one we have here, this is Sienna. Then we have Cappuccino. Then here we have Deep Sable. Then Mocha, Deep Rich, right over here. And Cocoa is the last one. And this is what they look like all wet. You see that we have some golden undertones, some olive, and a few red. Now, I'm not sure if Cocoa, this is the deepest one. I really don't think it is. Seeing pictures, I believe that they do have more shades after Cocoa. All right, guys, so I turned my lights down just a bit because I really wanted you guys to see what the shade looks on me more true to color. Unfortunately, that means the lighting is a bit darker, but hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Now, I'm going to try Deep Sable. This was the more olive undertones because I do have golden undertones in my skin, but when I get darker during the summer, I do have just a slight olive to me. So I'm going to try this out, and then if not, I'm going to try another shade and see. So this is kind of experimental, but hopefully this one works out. Now, let's talk about primer, what kind of primer I used. Now, in my smile lines, I used this one. This is the Clarins Instant Touch Perfecting Touch Primer. And then for all over my face, I used the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Mattifier, just because my skin is oily combination and I want to make sure that this foundation does stay matte. Okay, so let's see what 2 pumps of Deep Sable does. This is how much you get in it. I'm hoping it's not too light on me, but let's see. So far, looks pretty decent. And I'm going to take my Morphe sponge and I'm just going to spread it out. Ooh, I love the finish of this. You guys, this feels like your skin, but better, but it's got a good amount of coverage. Granted, I don't have a lot of acne or anything, so I'm not going heavy, but this feels really nice. Of course, if you want some heavier coverage, you can definitely go in with a brush. On the directions, they say that you can use your NYX foundation brush, you can use your fingers, you can use a sponge, so you can really go in with a lot of different tools to get the coverage you're looking for. Okay, so this is just the first coating. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I think that this matches really, really, really well. And it actually matches really closely to my chest color as well. And I used 2 pumps, But look, I still have some left over on my hand, and I'm usually like a 3 to 4 pumps kind of a girl, so I really like how this looks so far. It definitely is matte, but it's not overly drying. Even though I have oily combination skin, I just returned from traveling, and maybe you guys have this occur to you as well, but when I travel, my skin dries the hell out. So my skin is a little bit on the drier side, still oily, but a little bit drier than usual. And this looks great. It doesn't look cakey, or it doesn't sink into my fine lines. It looks really, really nice, especially because I'm looking at my under eyes. I know my under eyes were dry before this, and it looks really nice and moisturized. So I think that's great. I don't even feel like I'm going to need to powder this down a lot. Of course, you know, if you live in a humid place, girl, if you need to bake, if you need to powder it, do what you got to do. But this looks, it looks really beautiful. Okay, so to make this video more to the point, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, concealer, powders, all that. I'm gonna come back, tell you my quick first impressions thoughts, and then I'm going to do a wear test in a couple hours. You guys will get to see how this wears. All right, guys, so I just finished up my makeup. Now I do want to let you know what setting sprays I used. I used the Urban Decay, this is their Chill setting spray, and then I topped it because it was a little bit too matte for my liking, and I went in with the Pixie Glow Mist, and this is the one with propolis and argan oil. Now, depending on what your skin type is, you might not need to do that. I did feel like when they say matte, this foundation is matte. I didn't even need to set it in my areas that aren't oily because I just found that it looked really beautiful, really natural, really skin-like. But if I added powders to my whole face, it was going to be too much. It was going to be more cakey. So I just went about everything. I just set under my eyes, and then I did go in with these 2 setting sprays. So now you're looking at it and it looks just really nice, matte, but still like skin-like. I don't look cakey, and you can still see that my highlight is like popping. So I really, really love it so far. But you know what? We always have to see how this wears throughout the day, because sometimes you just never know. Also, I want to note that right now I am not seeing any sinking into my smile lines, even though yes, I did use a primer. I do find that matte foundations tend to work better with that issue. But anyway, it looks great so far. I'm loving it. I will see you guys in a couple of hours and update you on how this is wearing. Okay guys, so here is my check-in. I've been wearing this for about 2 hours. So far so good. Like, I mean, look, there's no shine on my forehead, on my nose. It is super duper duper matte, and it's just a little bit humid today. It's not too bad, but I think there's a really good match to my chest. My chest has a bit more red in it, but I'm pretty happy with the foundation match, and I feel like there's a good enough shade range where when it comes time for winter, I'll be able to find my winter shade. But I just wanted to show you guys how this looks like. Still very matte. I'm super happy with it, and I'll come back at the end of the day and then show you guys how this holds up. Hey guys, so right now it's officially been 8 hours and 48 minutes. Now you're looking at my face. I have not touched up. I have not blotted. This is just truly what it looks like after, yeah, that long. To be honest, formula-wise, I'm very, very impressed. When they said matte, it was a true matte foundation. I used a matte primer. I'm very, very, very happy with the way that this held up. Like, you guys, it looks stunning. It looks beautiful. Only just barely. My forehead is oily and a little bit around here, but honestly, that's like me being really picky. You could definitely just blot, keep it moving. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the actual formula. Now let's talk about the color. The particular color I use is called Deep Sable. Now when it went on, it looked like it was going to be a great match for me. And probably right now on camera, it still looks a bit good, but it does have olive undertones. So I do want to say that as far as it being true to color for long periods of time, I definitely noticed when I was in indirect lighting, like regular room lighting or bathroom lighting, any kind of regular room situation, I noticed that the olive undertones started to get deeper. Now, this is a very specific type of issue that I'm having, and honestly, I'm sure it's going to be solved by just choosing a different color. So that's my thing that I've got to do. I've got to play around with the colors, see which one works for me, if I need to start mixing different shades. So I'm not too worried about that, but I do want to say that that's something that I noticed, that the undertone got stronger. So it was an exact match when I put it on, and then kind of after about like 4 or 5 hours, I started to notice that, wow, this looks more olivey than I'd noticed before. So yeah, like right now when I look at the camera and the monitor, it looks great, you know, but in person, I just noticed that it's definitely a contrast now between my face and my chest. So I hope that makes sense. As far as my final verdict, I have to give this 2 thumbs up. Number 1, because the price point is great. Number 2, I love the shade range. Number 3, it is truly, truly matte. Beautiful, does not emphasize texture. You just get just a tiny bit oily, but you can dab it and still look great. As far as transfer, I don't see any transfer, just the oils of my face. So that's great. I haven't tested the waterproof part because I kind of don't want to ruin my makeup and dunk my head in a whole bunch of water right now. But I don't doubt it. That's kind of great if you get stuck in a summer rainstorm or anything like that, or maybe you just end up crying. The foundation will hold up. Now, if you guys like drugstore foundations and concealer reviews, definitely check out the playlist right there up top. It's got a whole bunch of them that are really amazing. As always, y'all know I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!